All right, so this is the overnight tank for my two toads that I just got. It's rough, it doesn't have any area to burrow. You know the drill. So that is actually Boulder. He or she actually is one of my biggest toads. And I cut out the part where you can see Pebbles because Pebbles was just not having it. Right now I'm cleaning out the tank, getting all the old stuff out of it and making sure to put it in really, really hot water to disinfect anything that might be left on it in case I want to use that hide specifically. This part's stupidly long because I didn't know how to cut it. And this is also my first video, so bear with me here, people. Bear with me. Okay, right now I'm showing you the two new things I got. That is a huge hide to fit Boulder. And, it's also getting dunked in hot, hot water just because I don't know what they've got at the pet store and I don't know what they're going to give. Right now, I'm walking you through. I know. How attractive is my bath, y'all? That's the steaming hot water that I did, in fact, burn my hands on, which was great. I'm glad y'all didn't see that because it was quite embarrassing the way I jumped back and almost dropped my new hide. So, this is me just still continuous to clear it out, making sure to try and get everything out. I'm not really as worried about getting all the sphagnum moths out, more so just what I had laid down before to keep them from ruining the tank or touching the glass specifically. You know the drill. Anybody with amphibians knows that, you just kind of want them to be comfy their first night. I tried to make it as comfortable as I could. These two are wild caught. They are Texas toads, which are extraordinarily popular in our area and are infecting the insect population like crazy. So these two are in fact able to come in, and here's the exactly clean tank, it's the baseline. So, right now I'm grabbing all the soil that I'm going to put down so they have room to bury and all that stuff. Here's me reaching over the camera. I tried to edit that out about 100 times, and there's my camera falling, as it should. And here is the other stuff that I got, which is going to go on the majority of the tank. The other stuff's going to be on their heated side. While Texas toads typically don't need heated areas in a house, I prefer to have it just for peace of mind because they want it about 73 degrees. And I'm trying to add about 3 to 4 inches of this stuff so they can bury like they want to. That's me cleaning it up, trying to make it as deep as possible. So, here's me going off to get the plants and stuff, which takes way too long. Here's me getting the first plant, okay? Dude, this thing fought me back, okay? Look at how corrupted those roots are. I mean, it did not want to break those roots. And this one, I try to get stuff where they can bury under the roots of because they actually enjoy that. They might kill the plants, yes, but the plants aren't really there to be aesthetic. I mean, they're adding greenery and life to the tank. And I know the tank is super far away. Once again, my first video, I'm still figuring this stuff out, which is incredibly fun when you don't know what you're doing. I originally loved the placement of that hide, but about a few minutes later, I decided I absolutely hated it. So there's me. I've added the second plant. That one was tedious because it was too big, so I had to cut it and hope to God that it survives, which is great, And trying to cut a 21-minute video into a 6-minute video is absolutely absurd and almost impossible to do as a newbie. There is a huge water dish getting tucked between the two plants to make sure that, hey, they don't have to, come out and see me because Texas toads, they don't want to be seen. They're basically there to bury themselves and exist. There's my next plant. It's so pretty. It's pink. And yes, none of these are toxic to my toads. I made sure of it. And I also have a lot of natural lighting in my room, so it's going to keep the plants alive. And with the coconut, fibers in there, it's going to well neutralize the plant, give them lots of nutrient. I'm sorry about any, misspeaks in words. I have a speech impediment, and trying to do this for my first time is not necessarily the best time. So here's me now getting the looser substance that's going to go on the heated side. So I'm only going to do a light little bit of this. So if they go on that side, they're not going to burn themselves, but at the same time, it keeps the natural look going. And still, they won't necessarily want to burrow on that side because as you can see, I'm adding a little bit on the top, but once again, I do not want them to burn themselves. So I'm going to make sure that it's well coated, but not deep enough that they can't feel the heat in case they get cold. And by the way, this is a 40-gallon tank, which is usually for one Texas toad, they need 20. And I'm sorry about the background noise. I still live at home, because I am not of age. Can you hear my little sister sobbing? Seems about right for my life. This is my room. Thank God it's the only quiet place in the house. So continuing on, right now, I actually don't know what I'm doing in this clip. Oh, I was getting this second water bowl so that Pebble would have a place to hide. Or actually, that's the big hide that I'm trying to put because that is actually Boulder's favorite hide. But I didn't want it to be in the main spot of the house, which is, I'm getting a little confused apparently because I don't know where to put it and I'm having to move things around. So I just give up and decide to put the soil down, which is quite fun. And I'm having just a blast because I'm still trying to figure out where to put his favorite hide. So right now I haven't sexed them. I need to sex them, but since I just got them last night, I do not want to freak them out anymore. And I did not have the right setup for them until I did this today. I'm adding more plants, trying to add more of a natural feel to their tank. So I'm going to go through, as you can see, fixing the bangs as I need to. Now I'm going through and trying to get this plant to fix, because it's a vine plant. So I wanted to go basically all over the plant, give them plenty of areas to hide, give them that safety. I'm adding the water now to Pebble's little area, and then the bigger bowl is probably going to be boulders. So as you can see, I'm about to grab them. I'm getting a little bit nervous. I got to spray the plants first to keep them kind of alive and add moisture and humidity to the tank. And, right now I'm getting a little bit nervous because I don't know if they're going to like it or not. So I go down, and that's the full tank, y'all. Sorry that it's a little bit rough and shaky. I have a really bad trimmer, so it makes it hard for me to record. Okay, and here is Boulder, my big Texas toad. So fun fact about boulders and pebbles. I have never once not seen them together. They have always been around each other, and I didn't want to just take Boulder out of the wild and not bring Pebbles along. That is Pebbles. They are absolutely adorable, and I love the little spotting along his back. Well, thank you for watching me.